Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I created this nail look using some eyeshadows, some chrome, builder gel, 3D gel, blossom gel, and so much more. If you're interested, then keep on watching. So I have actually been really enjoying keeping my natural nails. So these are my natural nails with some acrylic overlay on top of them. If you want a in-depth video of how I grow out my nails and grow them out with some acrylic, then please let me know if you would be interested in watching that. But without further ado, let's get into the design. The first thing I'm going to do is grab some alcohol and I am going to rub my nails so they are ready and prepped to put some designs on it. This will make sure that there's no oils or anything like that left behind on my nails that might make my polishes peel off. So I've just gone ahead and done that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the OPI gel color in Bare My Soul, and I'm going to be applying this on two nails, my pointer and my ring finger. This is going to be a perfect base for my French. For the other three nails, I'm going to be using this Beauty Luxe gel polish in the number 1. You can use any milky white color you have, but this is just the one that I have on hand. And I'm going to be using this polish for the other three nails. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some alcohol and I'm going to wipe away the sticky layer off of all of my nails. And this is just going to prevent bleeding of all of the gel polishes that I might add on after. Next, I'm just going to grab any white polish. You can obviously use any that you own. So I'm going to be applying that on the pointer and I'm just going to be drawing a really nice French tip. I also want this French tip to be a lot more thicker, so I want a lot of the white to be shown because I am going to be putting some 3D nail effect on there. So I want to make sure that I have enough room. Because we wiped off the sticky layer underneath the white French, I'm going to be able to use a chrome powder and it will stick right on top of the white. If you want it to be super shiny and metallic, you can go ahead and use a top coat on top first and then just place this where you need it to be. But I do want to keep it a little bit chunky, so I'm just going to go ahead with this and some of my chrome and I'm going to just apply it on the white. So you can barely see it, but I know it's there and it looks really good and shiny. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's there. It's just a clear pearl one, which is why it's quite difficult to tell. It's like silver, but that's why I really like it. It just gives it something. And right after I'm done applying the chrome, I'm gonna go ahead right away with a top coat just because I don't want the chrome to scratch away. So I'm just taking a no wipe top coat and applying that over the nail. So if you don't have chrome, you can definitely miss this extra step if you want to, or you can use whatever other chrome colors you have. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cure. The next thing I'm going to do is grab a matte top coat and I'm going to put this over my thumbnail. So for this design, you can go ahead and use an airbrush or a sponge technique, but what I have recently found is using some eyeshadows. This is just a random palette that I found on Amazon that I felt like had a lot of the colors that I feel like I will be using the most. Before I was able to open it, my niece had already gone into it, so it is a little bit messy, but I really liked these colors. This one's the only safe one. And for today, I'm going to go ahead and use this really bright pink. Okay, for this, I'm just going to go ahead and use the eyeshadow and I'm going to just saturate that in the corner. And I'm going to make the same thing on tip. And you can see I'm just using circular motions to really get a gradient effect. Then I'm just going to take this, kind of like the end of it, and blend that. And then I'm going to grab the eyeshadow again and I'm going to saturate that towards the insides. When I'm happy with how that looks, I'm gonna again go ahead with some top coat and, you know, top coat it because I don't want it to scratch. Next, I'm gonna grab a clear Blossom gel. Again, you can use whichever one that you have, and apply that on the pinky. If you don't have Blossom gel, you can also use base coat. That works pretty much the same way. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer for it to bloom, but that should work. Next, I'm grabbing a pink that matched perfectly with the shadow, and this one is the Gel In Polish. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab a brush and I'm going to do these little outwards petals. For when you're using Blossom gel, you want to make sure that you have quite a lot of it on your brush and make fast strokes. Now I'm just gonna keep an eye on this and wait until I really like the way it looks, and then I will cure it to stop the blossoming. All right, so for this 3D flower, I am going to be using 3D gel. And for that, I'm going to be using the Macart 4-in-1 gel in clear. I have already gone ahead and taken some out and put some on the back of here. All I'm doing really quickly is rolling this out. And then I'm going to split this into 5. Now, it's not the safest to be touching this with bare hands, but I'm just doing it really quickly and I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and wash my hands thoroughly right after. Okay, there's one. So as I have that, I'm just going to place that down. Once I have those rolled out, I'm just going to grab my top coat once again and place a coat of that all over the nail before I add the flower. This is just going to make sure that everything is top coated underneath before we put the flower on, and then we will also top coat the flower as well, but it's not going to be as thorough and thick of a coat. Next, I'm just going to pick up the little balls one by one and I'm going to place them down. Next, I'm just grabbing a little silicone tool like this, and I am going to spray this with some alcohol just so it doesn't stick around too much. And then I'm going to start shaping. I'm going to go ahead and bring out that pink once again, and I'm going to start by outlining the flower. And I'm going to start adding a little bit of dimension. The polish is puddling in those little grooves and it just adds, again, that little bit of dimension. Next is time to add these 3D little accents on the French, and for that I'm just going to be using a builder gel. The one that I like to use is from NSI just because it's a little bit more liquidy, so it flows a lot better rather than it being like super thick. So you can see what I mean, like it's quite liquidy. These two nails have already been top coated, so I'm completely ready to use my gel. So again, I just wait till a little ball is formed. And lastly, what's left is to embellish them. So I'm going to be using some pearls and also these silver little gems. And I'm just going to use some rhinestone glue from Macart as well. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and top coat the middle finger only because the pearls need top coat on them. Otherwise, the little pearlescent color comes off. And I'm also going to top coat that little flower that we had made. And lastly, I'm just going to finish my nail design with some cuticle oil. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Love the way these turned out.